Around 1177 BC, the ancient world was thriving. Great kingdoms ruled the Mediterranean. Trade ships crossed the seas carrying bronze, gold, and precious goods. Massive cities stood strong behind towering walls. Powerful civilizations dominated the world. The Hittite Empire ruled Anatolia. The warriors of Mycenaean Greece controlled the Aegean. And the mighty kingdom of ancient Egypt stood as one of the greatest powers on earth. For centuries, these civilizations thrived, but then something happened. Within just a few decades, the entire system collapsed. Cities that had stood for hundreds of years were suddenly destroyed. The great city of Ugarit burned to the ground. The powerful capital of the Hittites, Hattusa, was abandoned and left in ruins. Across the Mediterranean, kingdoms vanished. Trade routes disappeared. Entire civilizations simply collapsed. Archaeologists would later find cities reduced to ash, walls blackened by fire, weapons scattered in the streets, and in some places, desperate letters written just days before destruction. One message from Ugarit begged for help. The enemy ships had already appeared on the horizon, but help never came. Historians believe one of the greatest threats came from mysterious invaders known as the Sea Peoples.
No one knows exactly where they came from,
But they attacked city after city across the Mediterranean. Even Ramesses III, the pharaoh of Egypt, recorded a massive battle against them. According to Egyptian records, these invaders brought entire civilizations to the brink of destruction. But the Sea Peoples may not have been the only cause. At the same time, the world faced massive droughts, earthquakes shook cities, rebellions broke out, and the fragile system that connected the ancient world began to crumble. When trade collapsed, bronze weapons could no longer be made. Armies weakened. Cities fell. And within a generation, the Bronze Age was gone. Civilizations that had dominated the world for centuries disappeared into history. The Mediterranean entered a dark age that would last hundreds of years. And even today, historians still ask the same haunting question. What truly caused the collapse of the Bronze Age? Was it invasion, natural disasters, climate change, or something even more mysterious? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is certain. Around 1177 BC, the ancient world changed forever. One of the greatest powers of the Bronze Age was the Hittite Empire. From their capital city of Hattusa, the Hittites controlled much of Anatolia and rivaled even the power of Egypt. But around the early 12th century BC, their empire suddenly disappeared. Hattusa was burned and abandoned. Archaeologists found evidence of destruction across many Hittite cities. Within a short time, the entire Hittite state collapsed, and its people scattered into smaller kingdoms. One of the most powerful empires of the ancient world had simply vanished. Across the Aegean Sea, the warrior kingdoms of Mycenaean Greece also began to fall. These were the same kingdoms that later inspired the legends of the Trojan War. Their massive palace cities, including Mycenae, Pylos, and Tiryns, were destroyed. Many were burned violently. Others were abandoned. Trade disappeared. Writing vanished. Within decades, Greek civilization entered what historians call the Greek Dark Ages. Perhaps the most dramatic evidence comes from the city of Ugarit, located in modern Syria. Ugarit was a wealthy trading city connected to kingdoms across the Mediterranean. But one day, disaster struck. Archaeologists discovered clay tablets containing desperate messages sent by the king of Ugarit. Enemy ships had appeared along the coast. The city asked for military help, but help never arrived. Soon after those letters were written, Ugarit was destroyed by fire and never rebuilt. Not every civilization completely collapsed. The powerful kingdom of ancient Egypt managed to survive, but only barely. During the reign of Ramses III, Egypt faced massive invasions from mysterious enemies known as the Sea Peoples. Egyptian carvings show huge battles on land and sea. According to the pharaoh's inscriptions, entire migrating groups attacked Egypt with ships, warriors, and families. But Egypt managed to defeat them. Even so, the empire was weakened and would never again reach the same level of power.
Historians believe several disasters may have happened at the same time. Possible causes include invasions by the mysterious Sea Peoples, climate change, which caused massive droughts and food shortages, earthquakes, which destroyed many cities, internal rebellions, as weakened kingdoms began to collapse from within. When these crises happened together, the entire system of Bronze Age civilization broke down. Trade networks collapsed. Kingdoms could no longer support their armies. Cities fell one after another. Within a few decades, the great civilizations of the Bronze Age were gone. Empires that had ruled for centuries disappeared into history. The Mediterranean world entered a dark age that lasted hundreds of years. And even today, historians still debate what truly caused the collapse of the Bronze Age. One of the greatest mysteries in human history. If you want more videos about ancient mysteries and lost civilizations, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And tell me in the comments, what theory do you believe about the Bronze Age collapse?